Think sharks are the ocean's ultimate nightmare? Think again. Before your next dive, you'll definitely want to meet these seriously creepy crustaceans lurking in the deep. We're talking creatures that would make Jaws reach for his anxiety meds. From the neon-glowing emerald crab to the curry puff crab. Yep, it sounds delicious, right? Here are 15 of the world's most dangerous crustaceans. But before we dive in, smash that subscribe button like you're crushing a can of Mountain Dew and give us a thumbs up. Let's get this show on the road. Number 1. Coconut crabs, island brutes with a grip like a vice. These beasts can hoist over 60 pounds. That's like carrying a kindergartner. Keep your kids and pets at a safe distance. Those claws are so powerful. They can crack open a coconut like it's nothing. Your delicate fingers? Forget about it. Don't freak out too much. These guys aren't exactly stealthy. Weighing in at nearly 9 pounds and stretching over a foot long, with legs that can span almost a yard, they're not hiding in your beach bag. But there's more to these crabs than just their raw power. They're the largest land-dwelling arthropods on the planet. Size and strength aren't the only things they can do. They're climbing pros, scaling trees up to 30 feet high, using their beefy legs to grip the bark like Spider-Man. They do this to reach their favorite snack, coconuts. Once they're at the top, they bust open the nuts and get their grub on. They have a diverse diet, feeding on fruits, nuts, seeds, and even small animals. In some cases, they've been known to scavenge on carcasses, and there have been reports of them going after birds. Their varied diet is what fuels their gigantic size and incredible strength. These guys live a long life, with some hitting 60 years. Their ability to regenerate lost limbs, like Deadpool, boosts their resilience, making them some of the toughest customers in the animal kingdom. Number 2. Mantis shrimp, the ocean's ollie with a punch like a freight train. The mantis shrimp is sometimes called the thumb splitter, and for good reason. Handle one carelessly, and you might end up with more than just a painful pinch. These colorful crustaceans can grow between 4 and 8 inches long and live anywhere from 3 to 6 years. They're found in the Indian and Pacific Oceans, thriving in coral reefs where food is plentiful. The mantis shrimp's diet includes fish, other shrimp, and crabs. But what really sets them apart are their violent and intimidating hunting techniques. With over 400 different species, mantis shrimp are classified as either smashers or spearers. The smashers wield a club-like appendage known as the dactyl club, which they use to smash their prey at speeds of up to 50 miles per hour. That's equivalent to the speed of a .22 caliber bullet. On the other hand, the spearers have sharp, spiny appendages to pierce their prey, turning their food into a shish kebab-like skewer. The mantis shrimp's impressive punch is so powerful that it creates cavitation bubbles in the water. This phenomenon occurs when the rapid movement of the club causes the water to vaporize momentarily, forming a bubble. When this bubble collapses, it generates a second shock wave that can stun or even kill the prey, even if the initial strike misses. This dual attack strategy makes the mantis shrimp one of the most efficient predators in the ocean. In addition to their formidable hunting skills, mantis shrimp are also known for their intelligence. They are one of the few invertebrates known to engage in complex social interactions. They can recognize and remember individual neighbors, participate in ritualized fights, and even use their powerful claws to signal potential mates or rivals. Number 3. Brown crab, Europe's brawny bottom dweller. The brown crab, scientifically known as Cancer pygurus, roams the seafloor around the British Isles, keeping beachgoers on high alert. This intimidating crustacean holds the title of the largest crab species in Europe, typically reaching around 8 inches in width. However, some of these crabs can grow up to an impressive foot wide and weigh up to 9 pounds, roughly the size of a newborn baby. Equipped with 8 legs and 2 incredibly strong claws, the brown crab's pincers can crush with a force about 4 times greater than that of a human hand, exerting a crushing power of nearly 1,300 pounds per square inch. These crafty crabs hide under algae or near rocks, waiting to ambush unsuspecting marine creatures, including other crabs. Cannibalistic and always hungry, the brown crab isn't picky about what it eats, eagerly devouring dead marine life and shellfish. Curiously, brown crabs are known to migrate. They can travel great distances along the seafloor, moving between feeding and breeding areas. Some populations make seasonal migrations that can cover several kilometers. These migrations generally coincide with changes in water temperature and food availability, demonstrating the adaptability of the crabs to their environment. Despite their tough exterior and powerful claws, brown crabs have their own predators. Large fish, octopuses, and even other crabs can prey on them, especially when they are molting and are more vulnerable. The molting process, where the crab sheds its old exoskeleton to grow a new one, is a dangerous time, as it leaves the crab soft and defenseless for a short period. Number 4. Chinese mitten crab, fuzzy but ferocious. The Chinese mitten crab, with its furry claws, might look a bit comical, almost like it's wearing tiny Muppet gloves, but don't be fooled by its goofy appearance. These crabs are far from harmless, and their spot on the list of the world's most dangerous crustaceans is well-deserved. Originally hailing from China and neighboring regions like Japan and Korea, these fuzzy-clawed invaders have spread around the world, either through deliberate introduction or transport in ballast water, which is very uncool. But what makes them such a problem? For starters, they tend to gather in large groups and dig into riverbanks, causing significant damage. Their extensive burrowing has even led to breaches in levees, causing floods and chaos. As if that wasn't bad enough, the Chinese mitten crab often carries the Oriental lung fluke, a parasitic worm that can infect humans who consume undercooked crab. The worm then hatches and settles in the lungs, which is a truly horrifying prospect, straight out of horror film. So, while those mitten-like claws may seem fun, the dangers they carry are far from it. Number 5. Crayfish, cloning crawdads of doom. The crayfish, also known by a bunch of redneck names like crawfish, crawdads, or mudbugs, might seem harmless, even downright delicious when boiled with Cajun spices, and certainly not something that would keep you awake at night unless you happen to eat a bad one. While most crayfish are quite harmless, there's one species that could easily star in a low-budget sci-fi film about a 10-legged mutant army of world-conquering creatures from another planet. But this is not science fiction. There's a species of crayfish that has been doing exactly that, spreading like wildfire across the globe. The marbled crayfish was accidentally created in an aquarium in 1995, and this species has since become a global threat, representing a serious danger to native shrimp and ecosystems around the world. In just a few decades, the marbled crayfish has spread across Europe and Africa. What makes this spread particularly alarming is the marbled crayfish's ability to clone itself. Being entirely female, this species reproduces through cloning, making it virtually unstoppable. It's like something ripped from the pages of a Stephen King novel, but it's very real. Sleep well, and try not to dream of crayfish taking over the world. Number 6. Pistol shrimp, silence the enemy. The pistol shrimp wields a claw that sometimes grows to half the size of its entire body. This oversized claw is the source of the shrimp's incredible power. When it's ready to attack, the shrimp opens a small chamber at the tip of its massive claw, allowing water to enter with powerful pressure. The shrimp forces the water out with immense force, creating high-speed bubbles. These bubbles may seem harmless, but they are actually lethal, capable of stunning or even killing the shrimp's prey. When the bubbles burst, they produce a loud snap, almost like a gunshot. One species can generate bubbles that reach 210 dB, which is deafening. That's some serious noise for such a tiny creature. The abilities of the pistol shrimp are so impressive that they inspired a superpower in the Netflix action movie Project Power. So, being called a shrimp might actually be a compliment after all. Number 7. Remipedes, the toxic cave dwellers. The remipede is a small, blind crustacean that resembles a swimming centipede, mainly found in the dark underwater caves of Central America and Mexico. This tiny creature has developed a particularly horrific method for capturing and consuming its prey. The remipede uses its fangs to inject its prey with a deadly mix of enzymes and neurotoxins. These toxins first paralyze the victim and then liquefy its internal parts into a digestible slime, which the remipede then sucks up, leaving behind only the empty shell or leftover fish bits. As disgusting as this may sound, one has to admire the remipede's evolutionary adaptation. Its venom allows it to efficiently capture and consume prey despite its blindness and lack of physical strength. However, there's no need to worry too much. These creatures are quite rare, and the scientists who study them must undertake dangerous and complex diving expeditions into deep underwater caves just to find one. So, it's unlikely that you'll come across a remipede sipping a shrimp smoothie at your local swimming spot anytime soon. Number 8. Japanese spider crab, gentle giant of the deep. The size of these crustaceans is enough to instill fear into anyone. Japanese spider crabs hold the title of the largest crabs in the world, with legs that can stretch up to 12.5 feet and a body that can weigh nearly 44 pounds, enough to overshadow a human child. It wouldn't be fair to judge them solely by their imposing appearance. These crabs are masters of camouflage, living at depths of 500 to 650 feet, where they use materials from their surroundings to blend in and avoid predators. This camouflage ability may explain their impressive longevity, which can exceed 100 years, with some living even longer. Despite their massive size, Japanese spider crabs are more likely to be hunted by octopuses or rays rather than posing a threat themselves. They are scavengers by nature, feeding on decaying remains of animals and plants found on the ocean floor. Although there are many myths about these crabs, the truth is that they're not likely to harm a human unless you're already dead at the bottom of the sea. These legends may have given them a fearsome reputation, but in reality, they're just doing their part to clean the ocean. So, perhaps it's time to stop judging these gentle giants and appreciate their role in the marine ecosystem. Number 9. Flower egg crab, toxic beauty queen. A beautiful yet poisonous danger, often called the flower egg crab, shaw crab, or by its scientific name, Atargatis floridus. This small mud crab is typically found in Southeast Asia and extends to Australia. With its smooth shell and attractive markings, this tiny crustacean may seem harmless. But don't be fooled by its charming exterior. It hides a deadly secret. If you've heard of the puffer fish, you know that these seemingly harmless fish are extremely lethal due to their tetrodotoxin, which is over 1,200 times more toxic than cyanide. So what does this have to do with our cute crab? The same deadly tetrodotoxin is found in the legs of this flower egg crab. Ingesting this crab can be fatal, which is why it ranks number 9 on our list. Consider this a warning, just as you should never eat puffer fish or toxic frog lanterns. You should definitely avoid eating the legs of a flower egg crab. Number 10. The American lobster, more than just a gourmet meal. You've definitely come across these popular crustaceans, and have probably seen one on a plate before. Like other crustaceans, lobsters have their skeletons on the outside of their bodies, shedding them periodically as they grow. This may seem strange, but it's typical behavior for crustaceans. However, the American lobster takes strange biology to a whole new level. One of its most bizarre features is its ability to regenerate lost limbs. Pretty similar to some comic book character that we know and admire. If a claw breaks, it can simply grow a new one. And believe it or not, this lobster has teeth, though not in the way you might think. These teeth aren't for chewing food on your plate, but are located inside the lobster's stomach. To add to the oddity, the lobster's stomach is positioned near its mouth. So, while the American lobster is indeed a fascinating creature and a delicious culinary treat, it is also an incredible example of nature's peculiarities. Number 11. Mosaico reef crab, Singapore's venomous gem. As we move up the list, the dangers only increase. Kind of like a Saw movie franchise. Meet the Mosaico reef crab, arguably the most poisonous crustacean in Singapore. It may surprise you that poisonous crabs even exist, and even more so that several species are found only in Singapore, which is pretty spooky. This toxic creature lives among coral reefs and along the coasts of Singapore, China, Indonesia, Japan, Thailand, Australia, Vietnam, and French Polynesia. It has a vibrant orange-red color with a distinct white mosaic pattern on its shell, like something you'd see in a fancy art gallery. Although small, measuring only about 3 to 4 inches. and equipped with short claws, it is the crab's venom that truly makes it terrifying. The real danger of this crab is not in the size of its claws or even its intimidating look. The Mosaico reef crab is among the most toxic crabs on the planet. It's wise to steer clear. Several fatalities have been associated with this species. The neurotoxins it carries are so potent that cooking the crab does not neutralize the toxins. What's most fascinating is that this crab seems to derive its venom from its preferred diet of toxic sea cucumbers. Delicious? Perhaps not, but definitely deadly. Seriously, encountering this crab can be fatal. Number 12. Mud crabs, hidden predators of the mangroves. Known as hidden predators, mud crabs, also called Solara, are commonly found in mangrove swamps, creeks, and estuaries in Australia, Asia, and Africa. They are popular among both fishermen and food enthusiasts, but catching them is not without risks. These crabs typically hide just below the muddy surface, making them almost invisible to the untrained eye. This, combined with the murky or shallow waters, makes detecting them a challenge. When threatened, the massive claws of a mud crab, equipped with blade-sharp pincers, can cause serious damage to an unsuspecting ankle. If a mud crab grabs you, it might not let go easily. Its powerful claws can even remain shut after the crab has detached the claw to escape. Fortunately for the crab, it can grow a new claw, leaving its aggressor with pain and a new unwanted crab claw accessory. Number 13. The saw claw crab, spiny shell of doom. The name saw claw crab sends mixed signals, but there's no mistaking its level of threat. The idea of cuddling up with this crab might seem odd, a scene that probably wouldn't make the cut for Finding Nemo. But let's set that aside and focus on what truly makes it dangerous. This terrifying crustacean hides around coral reefs in Asia, including Singapore, the Philippines, Indonesia, Thailand, and Vietnam, and extends into the waters near Papua New Guinea and New Caledonia. Although it's not a large crab, reaching only 6 inches, its spiny and serrated appearance gives it a menacing look. The saw, part of its name, refers to the rows of teeth along its legs and claws. Stepping on one of these would be a painful experience, but the real danger lies in its poisonous interior. One of the greatest risks is that the saw claw crab can be mistaken for more edible species. In the deadly world of toxic marine animals disguised as harmless seafood, this confusion can be fatal and will make sure that you need some Finding Nemo-like assistance. Stay alert, especially near these spiny crustaceans. If they don't cut you with their sharp edges, their toxic insides might do the job. A warning label would not be out of place for these creatures. Number 14. The curry puff crab, spicy, but deadly. Does the name curry puff crab sound like something you would order at a restaurant? Something that might come with a side of sriracha and some sticky rice? Think again. The curry puff crab, or Platypodia granulosa, resembles the flower crab and shares some of its dangerous traits. This crab is yet another member of Singapore's deadly crustacean club. It gets its name from its resemblance to a curry puff, a delicious pastry popular in Southeast Asia. But that's where the similarity ends. Although its brown shell is not venomous, the crab itself is highly toxic. Experts in camouflage, these crabs blend in so well that you may confuse one for the other. As a result, if you have any allergies, it's best to avoid them completely. Touching one can be risky, so it's best not to confuse this crab with its namesake. Your chances of survival are high as long as you don't accidentally bite it thinking it's a snack. Number 15. The emerald crab, dazzling green menace. The last on our list of lethal crabs is the emerald crab. Despite its charming name and striking green color, this crustacean is loaded with powerful toxins. Found in the warm waters of the Caribbean, the emerald crab, scientifically known as Mithraculus sculptus, spends its days eating algae and scouring the ocean floor. It's vibrant. Alien-like green color might attract you, but don't be tempted to taste this creature. Like other members of our infamous group of deadly crabs, it carries a deadly mix of neurotoxins. However, if you can resist the temptation to try one, keeping an emerald crab in your aquarium can be like having a built-in garbage collector. If they were like a character of Star Wars, they would probably be something similar to Yoda. Thank you very much for watching the video. If you liked our content, please subscribe to our channel and leave a like. Also, check out other interesting content that is appearing on your screen right now, and I'll see you in the next video. Until next time.